Hello, darling Kapoks. Welcome to my roof. Today I was thinking about what kind of yoga do I feel like doing today? What do I need to get my inspiration from? And I have been feeling, I don't know if you can relate to this, I've been feeling kind of stuck in one place. I've been in my apartment for a long time. I'm feeling really heavy and really grounded in one place. And I was thinking today I would like to feel a little bit more like a cloud. I would like to be able to float by and sort of float through the world and feel a little bit lighter and a little bit more mobile and more able to move around the world. And that reminded me of a cloud. Today there are not that many clouds in the sky, but I still thought, what a very good place to come. Why not come to my roof so that I could be a little bit closer to the sky, because I'm feeling so stuck on the ground. Today I'd like to feel a little closer to the sky. So, welcome. We're gonna get started. Let's see if you can see everything you need to see. Great. Get started coming to a comfortable place that you can sit on the ground. You can plant your hands down on your knees. Feel your tall spine. And I'd like you to just notice your breath. And I wonder if you can imagine in your mind that every time you breathe out, you're blowing your air down into the ground, and that's lifting you up a little bit off the ground. Imagine you're blowing that air down and it lifts you up a little bit taller, like you're floating off of your ground. You have to use your imagination. Every time you breathe out, can you imagine yourself lifting up, floating a little higher? Go ahead and open up your eyes. Now, clouds in the sky are always moving. They never stay still. So lift up your arms really tall towards the sky. Keep your shoulders dropped down, but your fingertips are reaching up. And we're going to take a few motions, waving our hands from side to side, kind of like clouds moving through the sky. And we'll take some motions twisting. You can twist around one way and twist around the other way. And one way. And twist the other way. Come back to center. Go ahead and stand up on your mat or on the ground. Stand up tall, and we're going to play a little bit with our feet so that we can really imagine ourselves floating up tall. Take a deep breath in and rise up onto your tiptoes. Breathe out and come back down. Breathe in and rise on your tiptoes. Breathe out and float down. Breathe in and float up. Breathe out and float down. This time let's add the arms. Breathe in and lift your arms and lift up your heels. Breathe out and float down. Breathe in and float up. And breathe out and float down. Beautiful. We are going to get started with a little bit of a flowing cloud-like sequence today. Let me make sure that you can see my body. Move you back a little bit. Hope that's good. Come to the front of your space. Breathe in to float up on your toes. Lift up your arms. And breathe out to fold over. Put your hands on the ground. Breathe in, lift up your chest. Breathe out, put your hands on the ground. Bend your knees and step back into your downward dog. You remember this pose. We'll come on to a plank pose. Bring your knees to the ground and lower down. And then lift up your chest. Breathe out and put your hands on the ground. Move back up into downward dog. Beautiful. Breathe in, float your right leg up to the sky. Breathe out, step that right foot in between your hands. We're going to come into warrior two. So open up sideways. My right toes are facing forward. My left toes are facing out towards the side. And I'm looking over my fingertips towards the front of my space. Flip over that front hand, Reach forward and then back. Take a deep breath in and then take a deep breath out. Plant your right elbow on your right knee and reach the left arm to the front. Breathe in to reach back. Breathe out to reach to the front. Breathe in to reach back. And this time we'll breathe out and bring our hands down to the ground. Bring your right foot back to meet the left one. Come into your downward dog. Come forward into your high plank. Put your knees on the ground. Scoop your belly down and forward and up. Lift up your chest. And then plant your feet back down and come back into downward dog. We're going to take this the other way. Reach your left foot up tall. And then breathe out and put your left foot in between your hands. Open up to the side. This time you're facing the opposite direction, but I'll move around so that you can see. Your left toes are facing front. Your right toes are facing to the side. Look towards the front of your space. Flip over your palm and reach forward and then back. Breathe out and bring your elbow to your knee. Breathe in to reach back. Breathe out to bring your elbow to your knee. Breathe in to reach back. And this time we're going to come all the way to the ground. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Come forward and then bring your knees to the ground. Breathe in as you scoop your chest down and then bring your belly to the ground. Lift up your chest. Ooh. And then breathe out to plant your hands and come back into downward dog. Beautiful. Look towards your hands. And then you can walk or you can jump your feet forward to meet your hands. Lift up your chest. Breathe out to fold over. And then breathe in to rise up tall. If you want to challenge yourself, come onto your tippy toes. Ooh, it might be hard. And then come back down to standing. We're going to take a forward fold here. So widen out your legs. Make it so that your toes are pointing in towards one another, kind of like a slice of pizza. Lift up tall and then exhale. Breathe out as you fold over towards the ground. Beautiful. Place one hand on the ground and breathe in to stretch up tall. Breathe out to bring it to the ground. Breathe in to stretch up tall the other way. Breathe out to bring it to the ground. And then breathe in and rise back up to a standing position. Now we're going to get ready to do a balancing pose. This one is called airplane, so you can think why I might have chosen it to do for our cloud flowing sequence today. First, I'm going to show you the pose, and then you're going to be able to try it. So when you're in this pose, one foot is going to be on the ground, the other foot is lifting up behind you, and your hands come out to the sides. Now you want this foot to be pressing strongly back. You want your hips rotating down towards the ground and your arms stretched out and your chest lifting up tall. Now to get into this position, we're going to start folded up, squatting down on the ground, balancing our weight in our feet. We're going to take a deep breath in, and then when you exhale, imagine that you are inflating yourself off the ground and floating up into airplane pose. Lift up your chest, push back through that back leg, and then come back down to the ground. We're going to take it to the other side. So balance down through all your toes, through your heels. Take a deep breath in. And then the other side, breathe out hard as though you're inflating a balloon, lifting yourself up towards the sky. You're floating up towards the ceiling. And then come back down. Very, very nice. Beautiful. We're going to do some stretches for the lower part of our body. We did these a different day as well. Plant one foot on the ground and cross the other ankle over the knee. We're going to stretch out the side of your hips. So you'll lean your hands back and lift up your chest. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, you can scooch yourself forward. If you're feeling it well enough, then lean back a little bit further. Your choice. You decide what feels good in your body today. Might be different today than it was yesterday because, like a cloud, we are always changing. And slowly release out of that. Lean back, release your leg. Switch and go the other way. Inhale to lean back and lift up your chest tall. slowly press forward to whatever amount is comfortable for you. Don't start to curve over, just focus on leaning back and lifting up your chest. And take the version of this pose whichever way feels good for you. Beautiful. You can release that. Come on out of it. We're going to take a wide-legged straddle to stretch our inner thighs today. Reach your feet out towards either side. You want your toes pointing up towards the sky. You might scooch your bottom a little bit farther forward. Your straddle might be more narrow. It might be like this. It might be wider. It depends how much you've stretched it before. Inhale, breathe in to lift up your chest really far. If you need to lean back a little bit, you can lean back. If you need to lean forward a little bit, you can lean forward. You can do whatever feels good for your body today. Take a few deep breaths. Then come back up and we're going to stretch our hamstrings. So both of your legs go out in front of you, your toes point towards the sky, your heels push out. You can move the fleshy part of your bottom back. Hands behind you to lift up your chest. And then you decide, do you want to make it a little bit tougher? Do you want to give yourself a little more space? Whatever way feels good for your body. You can focus on pressing the knees down towards the ground, just in your mind. You can focus on lifting the toes, using your mind to pull those toes up taller. And slowly release that. Go ahead and lie down on your mat. We're going to get ready for Shavasana. Let your knees drop over to one side and then look the other direction. Take a little stretch, a twist for the body, and then take it the other way. Your knees go to one side and your face looks the opposite direction. Come back to normal. Hug your knees in close towards your belly. And breathe out and let your whole body relax down. Close your eyes. Relax here. And I'm going to take you on a little guided meditation. Close your eyes and lie down and let yourself feel really relaxed. Every time you breathe out, imagine you're sending that air down and it's allowing you to float up a little higher. You float up a little higher. You float up a little higher. You're floating up a little higher. You're floating almost close to your ceiling. Now I want you to go on a little floating journey in your imagination today. I want you to imagine that the window is open in your apartment and you let yourself float right out the window. You are safe, you are flying, you are strong, and you can float wherever you want to go. Where do you want to float to today? In your mind, imagine that you are going on a little flying journey, like a cloud soaring above your neighborhood, soaring above the city. Maybe you're floating above some trees. Maybe you're floating above the Hudson River. Maybe you want to slowly float past some of your favorite places. Maybe the place that someone in your family lives. And from up there in the sky, you see them down on the earth and you check in on them. You see that they're doing okay. Maybe you float by some of your favorite places that you like to go, like your favorite corner store or your favorite playground. From up in the sky, as you're floating past, you can look down and just see it. Maybe you want to wave to that place, and you know it will be there when quarantine is over, and it will be waiting for you to come back. Let yourself float to wherever you want to go today. You can look around at the world down below you. Feel really light. Feel really free. And slowly you'll begin to bring your journey back to your apartment or back to your house. You'll float in the window and then slowly begin to lower down. With each breath, you're lowering down a little closer to the ground. Just like the air is coming out of a balloon. And slowly, gently, you land back on the ground, on the floor in your apartment. When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers or wiggle your toes. Gently open up your eyes. And you can come, when you're ready, you can come to sit up. I want to say thank you for practicing this yoga with me today. I'm curious about your floating cloud adventures. If you want to leave me a comment, I would love to hear about where you imagined that you went. And I would love to remind you that anytime if you're feeling a little bit heavy, if you're feeling a little bit stuck in one place, you can always sit up tall and close your eyes and take some deep breaths and let your body feel a little bit lighter. You can always imagine yourself floating up off of the ground. And this little mind journey, your inside cloud, is always there for you anytime you want to take those deep breaths and visit different places in your mind. I'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.